Hey, and welcome, fans of Cheezeofages, all one or two of you, and my 70 subscribers, some of which are probably no longer have functional accounts. This is just basically another blog entry, rather than just an update video or an actual contribution in any of the series I currently have ongoing. First up, an update. It is an update video. But anyway, rambling nonsensicalness aside, there's going to be some delays in getting the retro campaign setting stuff out because, the Fall Chew video, while, the people that commented person that commented on it seemed to be interested in it. It only got 6 views so far, and I wanted a little bit more response to that. Now I know I can't really expect oh my god, 100 views in a matter of days. I realize I'm just basically, the entire video was me sitting in front of the camera, rattling off statistical information about the race and, basically reading lore off a page. Needs more polish if I wanted it to be successful or popular or anything like that. So there's going to be more polish. In order to cram that polish and that information in there, all the information, I'm going to need more than 21 minutes. And with some of the 21 minutes being just basically frozen and dialogue continuing afterwards without any lip motion whatsoever. Darn bug. Anyway, so I'm going to be remaking the Fall Chew video and putting more polish on the ARI video before I put it out, and then I'm going to have part 1 on here, and then upload the full video, including part 1, to on my Blip account, which will be embedded on my webpage, and then link it in the video description below in the part 1s. So yeah, a lot more polish, like text on the screen showing, and like a picture of the race if I can scrounge one together out of existing content. For instance, I'll cheat a little bit and use Worgen fan art for the Fall Chew, because while the Fall Chew doesn't look as savage as a Worgen, there's non-savage looking Worgen fan art that I can use. They look basically the same, even if their lore doesn't match at all. Fall Chew not being at all lycanthrope. In fact, it's one of their racial things is while they look exactly like werewolves, no one ever confuses them for werewolves. Of course, it's going to be difficult to find ARI art because it's a semi-bipedal griffin folk. I can find a picture of a griffin, but it's distinctly not bipedal, and very distinctly not having humanoid hands or arms or anything of that sort. I might have to actually get pictures from the Gargoyles animated series, in which there was a griffin-looking gargoyle. Unfortunately, to my recollection, it was weirdly colored and sometimes wore modern clothing, which would be a bit of an issue for a fantasy setting depiction. And plus, there'd be mild copyright issues. And by mild, I mean if they saw me doing that, they might say, "Stop that, or me sue you," kind of thing. But I don't really think they'd care all that much, frankly, especially if I credit them. Which I, of course, would, in the case of all uses of fan art. Yeah, I'm rambling. Basically, there'll be artwork on screen rather than just me showing here, and there'll be text readout, so you don't have to look in the video description below to get the actual information I'm presenting, and it's not just me rattling it off. And then, of course, there'll be more than just the statistical information. There'll be more deeper lore, racial feats, because I will have the ability to make as long as video as I want. There can be as much information as I can make with as much formatting or as effort and stuff, and just basically polish and stuff is more flexible, and you've got as much time as you want. You could just make the video without having to worry about smushing it all in, and in the end making a really long video where you don't have all the information in there. Yeah, I'm still going to be making some videos for this channel, and not just stuff I'm linking to my other stuff that on my blip and stuff like that. For instance, my reviews are going to be there coming up. Some of them are going to be blog style, like my promised review of the Old Republic. And some will have a medium amount of polish, like my Tag Force 4 review. I really need to get around to reviewing Tag Force 5 and Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships 2009 through 2011. But I'll get them when I get to them. And come to think of it, I a long time ago promised to review Indigo Prophecy, but it's been so long since I played the game. I don't really think I should make a full-fledged polished review about it. So I'll just get that out of the way now. Indigo Prophecy, first half of the game, great. Then suddenly everything gets weird, and it turns from like the most deep, interesting, like compelling, innovative game you've ever seen to just a straight weird, badly written, what the hell fest. You know, like those movies you see that start off good, then the pacing falls apart because they realize they're running out of time, and they miss a heck of a lot of the developmental stuff that they should have put in. There's some spoilers I could give. Like, two characters are basically 5 minutes, pacing-wise. It's basically they just met, like, yesterday. Say 3 lines of dialogue to each other, if that. Go through nothing together directly. And suddenly they are in love and shagging, to quote Austin Powers. It's like, what the heck, man? What's going on, dude? Why are you liking each other? You should just now be like friends at best, barely acquaintances, and suddenly did I miss like an hour or two of the game? I can get past that we're going from like Heavy Rain style detective work with like a for its time completely new and innovative control scheme that Heavy Rain took. We've gone from like Heavy Rain 10 years before it was actually made or more to suddenly we're dealing with Aztec mythology and reenacting Matrix style combat and having like epic quick time event chase scenes with Matrix powers and explosions, and suddenly I'm a zombie. What? Wait, why am I a zombie? First half, really compelling, interesting, greatest game I've ever played. Or possibly greatest game I've ever played. One of the greatest games I've ever played. Second half, what the fuck is this? What happened? What game am I playing? This totally went out the window, man. It's like weird. I can't even convey how it is, but like, check out Indigo Prophecy, or Fahrenheit, as it's called in Europe. Go seek it out, just for the simple fact of it. It's a great game during the first half, and then suddenly it's weird as hell, and just totally 360 degrees. Just, it's worth getting just for the freaking what the hell. So it's one of those hard games it's hard to give a freaking number score to. Because the first half of the game, like I said, is fabulous. I'd give the first half of the game 9 or more out of 10. The second half, what the fuck is this? I can't even number this. 5, maybe 6, because it's enjoyable, but it basically turned on into entirely a game made of stop-motion events. Not stop-motion, but quick-time events. I don't know why I kept calling it stop-motion. I was watching old movies, I guess. Wait, no, I wasn't. Oh no. Yeah, I'm rambling. Indigo Prophecy, pick it up. On the spot review. I might, find it again, because I don't actually own the game anymore. I might find it, and then, get it, and then play it again, and go through it to refresh my memory by watching a Let's Play. Yeah. If you don't want to get it, or you can't find it, watch a Let's Play. I'm sure there's one on YouTube. First half of the game, impeccably nice, great, and my monitor went to standby. That's why I had this distracted look on my face. But yeah, in addition to the more polish on my retro campaign setting stuff, I'm going to be doing a heck of a lot more other side projects that I'm not quite announcing yet, but some voice acting work stuff. Some of which may be on this thing. I've posted like which world is it anyway? Improv series stuff on there, but I won't be doing that anymore because basically it became impossible to do and impractical, and Skype recording really leads to terrible audio. And I tried to do a podcast thingamajiggy, but various issues that I've explained sometime at some point previously kept me from being able to do that. But I'm going to be doing some voice work stuff and pursuing like voice work as a hobby. So if you hear this voice of mine with more emoting and stuff in a project, yay! You might recognize me or something. But I doubt I'm going to get casted for a lot of stuff because most of the voice acting projects are anime, and as you can probably tell, I don't have a very anime voice. Just like pull up a clip from an anime and like play my voice on it, and can you see my voice being any character you've ever seen in an MMO? Not an MMO, tore on the brain. But if you, could you see me, my voice, not see me, but this voice of mine being any character in an MMO? I mean an anime. I keep freaking MMO. Since I've got MMOs on the brain apparently, I will sometime in the future, once I've played more of it, give my opinions on Star Trek Online. I don't really feel right reviewing the game, despite the fact that it's freshly free to play, when I'm still only Lieutenant Commander, which is only like the second of like 5 ranks, I believe. But general opinion of it is, so far it seems to have missed the point of a Star Trek MMO completely, as it's mostly focused on ship-to-ship combat and ground combat missions and stuff. Basically, it's an action game. You don't really interact or talk to people, or there's no role-playing element. You're basically just ship-to-ship combat, or like killing things that's on the ground. You don't interact with characters that much, or like do negotiations, or like hit on hot alien chicks, or go on missions that lead you to like heavy moral conflicts. At least not yet. I'm sure they have heavy moral conflict storylines further along in the storyline. But basically, just all-around gameplay just seems to have missed a lot of the point. And I'm sure more's coming. I hope more's coming. But if more isn't coming, you'll know when I actually do a formal review of it, which could be anywhere from a month to 6 months from now. I'm not promising it soon, but I'm collecting away at the game in my free time, so we can expect it at some point in the future. And that's my initial opinions of it. My initial opinions when I was in the actual beta for the game, when it was still in production, was this would be a great game that I would play the hell out of if it was free to play, but I ain't paying for this. What do you know? It's free to play. And I kind of play it a decent amount when I have the time and feel like it. Feel like a 3-dimensional naval combat kind of thing. Because, slow turning and stuff. Once I get my next ship, it promises more maneuverability, so it'll be better than that. Oh, but quick tip. I've noticed it's a heck of a lot easier to fire your proton torpedoes if you put both of your phasers on the front of your ship and simply put the proton torpedoes on the back. So you're basically moving towards enemies, you fire both of your phaser arrays, and so you don't have to focus as much on being, like floating alongside them. And so you can basically do that and fire to the side just as well as easily. But when you're ready to unleash your barrage of photon torpedoes to finish them off, it's a heck of a lot easier and gets you further away from the resulting explosion if you destroy them. If you basically put your proton torpedoes on the back, so you can basically fire them proton torpedoes while you're getting away. You know, it's like, oh, I've like gotten close to them and I'm engaged in a close-fledged firefight. I need to get some distance between us. So I'm gonna pull and like go this direction and fire my photon torpedoes. So it's actually, I've found it's more convenient for maneuverability to put your photon torpedoes on the back rather than having them on the front. Because, rather than like, I'm blasting you from the side, now I've got to turn towards you while I'm in motion, and effectively now I'm flying towards you to fire my photon torpedoes. A lot of the time resulting in you flying headlong into a fucking explosion. This way, I need to line up my photon torpedoes. I'm moving away from you now and firing photon torpedoes. So now, I'm blowing you up and moving away from the explosion. And that also makes you a cool guy, because cool guys don't look back at explosions. Yes, I know that's a bad joke. But anyway, rambling aside, which basically means entire video aside, that's pretty much all I have got to say. In summary of all this nonsensical gibberishness, retro campaign stuff going to be on a different place that I will link to in like snippet videos that are like the first part, a decent chunk, but not like 20 minutes or anything, like maybe 10 minutes, and then a much more fleshed out, nice video somewhere else with lots more polish. Well, not lots more, but polish. And there will be reviews coming up soon, if nothing more than a vlog style entry dedicated to my opinions on Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I'm playing Star Trek Online a bit, and will eventually give my opinions on that. Also, Indigo Prophecy is a good game for the first half, and amusing, and sloppy, and funny, during the second half, and worth picking up just for the freaking enjoyment of the first half and the what the hell chuckles provided by the second half. And I'd recommend at least checking out a Let's Play of it. This is cheezeofages signing off.